All right. Well, good morning, everyone. It's another fantastic Monday morning here at Health Plan Markets. Thank you guys very much for being on the call this morning, live and in person. We are here to improve the lives of our community with affordable healthcare. Thank you for being a part of that mission. And thank you for taking time out of your busy day and busy week and busy AEP to be here so you get the latest and greatest first, so you can get out there and make sure that you have the most up-to-date information for your clients. Now, we understand you guys are very busy throughout open enrollment. So if there is a Monday where you cannot be on the call because you have a client, just always remember clients come first. These are being recorded, so you can come back to our YouTube channel and check them out. Of note, a couple of updates on this call. Next week is Veterans Day, and we will not be hosting a call on Veterans Day on Monday. So you guys can have an extra day back. Some of you will be seeing clients anyway, but we will be closed for that particular holiday. Thank you to our veterans. We appreciate you, and we will take that day off next week. So no Monday call for next week, Monday, which is November 11th, Veterans Day. So we will be off that day, so no call there. And then the other thing that I want to remind you is that we are going to be moving this Monday call to a new platform. It will be Zoho Meeting, and we will be emailing, texting you, and posting it in HQ to ensure that you guys have all the information for the move over. It should be pretty seamless, but we're going to be using a new coordinates for this particular call. So just want to make sure that everybody's aware of that as we move forward and continue to rock and roll. So with that, I'm going to share my screen and jump into HQ as we normally do. And so here we are in HQ. We're going to go down to learning and our training calendar. So this should load up and we'll go through the trainings here this morning. So let's see here. We've got IFP from AvMed coming to the office today in Orlando. So if you're interested in attending that, they'll be here at the Edgewater office at noon. Humana is doing a training later today at 4 o'clock for how to look up your Humana client, providers for your Humana clients, which is super important to know how to do that. We are actually working on a document right now where all of the provider directories are going to live in HQ, so you can click on it and know exactly how to get there. So we are working on that as we speak. Moving over to November 5th, Tuesday, Cigna has their open office hours, and you can just click join to get in there. And then at 10 o'clock tomorrow, Humana is doing a veterans training. So check that out if you are working with the veterans, especially during this time of year. On Wednesday, the 6th, we've got our very own Ask Al Clancy, our virtual office hours for him, a coffee and chat session at 9:30 to 10:30. So if you have any questions, concerns, or if you feel a little bit lost, Al's the guy to get you back on track. 10 o'clock on Wednesday, Cigna's doing their cross-selling on hospital indemnity. We started introducing those products, so you can check that out. The contracting team's available from 11 to 12. United Healthcare, our Golden Rule training too. So thank you very much for all those folks that joined last week on the ancillary products for Golden Rule. We're doing a second session on Wednesday at noon. So you can jump in and join that one as well. And then at 4 o'clock, Cigna's doing their military health benefits and how that integrates with Medicare Advantage, 4 o'clock on Wednesday. On Thursday, the 7th, we've got WellCare coming to the office at the Edgewater office. Looks like they're going to be starting to come every Thursday. So if you're in the Orlando market, you can pop in and they'll have someone here. Simply is going through SSBCI and the process surrounding that. This is really cool training Thursday at 9 o'clock. If you don't know what that is, it's probably a good idea for you to attend that. And noon, you've got Cigna doing their office hours again. You've got UHC doing a training at 1 o'clock on Thursday on how to close the sale. We've got our very own HQ training at 3 o'clock. And then Humana is doing their individual dental training at 4 p.m. And then last but not least, on Friday the 8th at 9:30, Tom Ryan is hosting our What About HPM shop and all the great changes and updates for 2025. So that's the training for the week, guys. Remember to keep one foot in the classroom and the other one in the field at all times. In HQ, just want to point out, heading back into the homepage here, I'm going to continue to post updates. Last week, I posted an update about the new Medicare IDs that were issued across 1.2 million beneficiaries. So what we found, there was an article where there had been some fraud in the Medicare system, and approximately 1.2 million Medicare eligibles they've decided to terminate their MBI and issue new Medicare beneficiary identifiers. So this may impact some of your clients. If you haven't already received phone calls or texts or emails about this, your clients are going to start receiving new Medicare cards this month. So they go into effect on the letter. They are indicated what date and time they go into effect. This is important to know because if you're meeting people out here and they get a new MBI number, it may cause some confusion in the system. So kindly ask your clients, hey, did you get a letter from CMS, Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, Social Security? Did they send you your new Medicare card? And at first, it might feel a little bit like something went wrong because people are receiving their cards. It has a different number on it. It has an explanation, but most people don't read the letters. And so it's your job to say, yes, unfortunately, some folks got hit with some fraud on their IDs. So they canceled those ID numbers and issued new MBIs for 1.2 million members across the nation. So it's not everybody, but it's a significant chunk of people that are getting new MBI numbers and pushing forward. So if you have a client that is got a letter, don't panic. It's a new MBI, and you're going to process that new MBI on your application for January 1st effective. Okay, I would go ahead and make note of the old MBI and keep both until January 1st, and then you can delete the old one. So if you want to make a note in your platform, in your CRM, hey, this is the new MBI, switch it over in January. That's going to be important to have that because the old numbers are going to start terminating this month. So you can read more about that on HQ. I wrote an article about it last week, so you can check that out and make sure that you have that important information that's coming down the pipe for you. Okay. On the topic of MBIs, I do want to touch base on how to understand the MBIs. And this is a document that was put out by CMS. And I will put this in the chat for you guys, but it's a PDF that you can download and take advantage of. So that's in the chat there. I will also host it on HQ under the MBI section here, but this explains how the MBIs are formatted, which is really kind of helpful, especially if somebody has to read their MBI to you, because one of the most important things to know is that they're randomly generated. They're only 11 characters, and they do not use the letters S for Sierra, L for Lima, O for Oscar, I for India, B for Bravo, and Z for Zulu. They do not use those letters because if you notice, they kind of look like numbers. So they've decided just not to use those letters. So MBIs are numbers in uppercase letters. They use numbers 1 through 9 and all letters from A to Z except for S, L, O, I, B, and Z. If you use a lowercase, it'll automatically convert them to uppercase. So just know that. The MBI's second, fifth, eighth, and ninth characters are always letters. Characters 1, 4, 7, 10, and 11 are always numbers. And the third and sixth characters could be either letters or numbers. They don't use dashes in their systems because it just messes up their file format. So just know that as you're punching in certain things. So it talks about each one of the positions. So positions is a number. Position 2 is alpha numeric, or just alphabetic values, minus S, L, O, I, B, and Z. And so it goes through it on there. So I thought this was really, really helpful because, if you're handling some folks' information over the phone, having this in front of you, knowing, like they said Z, that they don't use Z, it's probably a 2. So you will get requests for information if you do punch in an MBI incorrectly from the carrier. Usually that does happen. So just pay attention to that as you move forward. So again, that cheat sheet is in the chat for you, and I'm also hosting it on HQ. So hopefully that you find that this little piece of information helpful as you continue to move on throughout your day. So I got a bit of bad news to share with you, but it's better that you know about it than you don't. But many of you, all of you, if you're contracted with certain carriers, received some emails last week about several plans that have immediately become non-commissionable. Okay, so this seems to be a trend happening here, and it is unfortunate that these health plans are deciding to make certain plans non-commissionable in the middle of AEP. We haven't seen anything like this before. As brokers, we are upset that they are doing this in the middle of AEP with very little to no notice. So I will tell you that as a member of NABIP, we are fighting to get some retribution for this, because it's unfair for carriers to continue to, create products, launch these products, and then make them non-commissionable after training us and getting us all excited about these products to sell. So in this sheet here that I'm sharing with you, the first one is Aetna. So those of you that are selling across state lines, the following markets are impacted. You have Maryland, New York, DC, Texas, California, Utah, Washington State, Virginia, California, Connecticut, Florida. Those are the markets. Now in Florida, because we have quite a few folks on this call from Florida, you have the Select Plus HMO, the Select HMO, the Explorer Premier PPO, and the Dual Select DSNP, and the Explorer Premier PPO. So these products for Aetna are no longer commissionable for 2025, effective immediately. And then we have a sheet for Anthem. We're going to link out this sheet. And we're going to create a document for you guys that, again, will live on the homepage of HQ. What I will tell you that it is going to be effective right now, and we are working with our partners at Connecture for HPM Shop to suppress these particular plans from the enrollment process, so you will not see them, or they will be indicated that they are non-commissionable if the carrier does still allow the enrollment. So if the carrier does not allow the enrollment, they will be suppressed. And if they do allow the enrollment without commission, it will be notated as non-commissionable. So we are working with our partners there to get this up to date, so you will see it. Michelle is asking, isn't this only for certain counties? Yes, there's certain counties. So what you have to be aware of is there's a plan code and a plan ID. So just make sure that you're aware of that plan code and plan ID as you're going forward. So in Aetna specifically, it's plan code 437 for that PPO and 432 for that same PPO. So it's not in every county, so just pay attention to that. It's important to know that. But the impacted health plans that you should be aware of is Anthem, all the WellPoint information. We also have Cigna, Humana, United Healthcare, and WellCare just released that they are going to be commissionable, but you're going to have to do a paper app because they're not going to allow apps for certain products in certain markets. So more information to come on that. We're going to continue to release this information and post it on HQ. So make sure that you're coming back to HQ. It will be posted later today. So check it first thing in the morning. But again, we're doing our best to suppress or label those plans that are non-commissionable, which is another reason why you want to use HPM Shop versus any other enrollment platform or using paper, because you might be working for free. We don't want you to do that. So with that, Aetna is a very, very important partner for us. And although some of those products are non-commissionable, we did invite the director, Josh Zarandana, who is on the phone with us. And Josh, we would love to hand it over to you to talk a little bit about this, but still give them the good news.
Absolutely.
Yeah, why is still a great product for their folks. So welcome and good to see you again.
Thank you. Likewise. And thank you for inviting me. I'm going to go ahead and share, and I'm going to go ahead and address the, if I can figure out how to do this.
Shares on the bottom there. Third one from the left should be.
Select tab. It's not showing me power horsepower entire screen. I think it's this one. Okay, can you all see this PowerPoint presentation?
Yep, we got you. Yes, sir.
Okay, sounds good. So I wanted to go ahead and address the bull in the china shop right away, right?
Yeah.
We have 54 plants in Florida with different numbers, such as what you see here on the second column. Of those 54 plants, 49 are still commissionable. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to spend most of the time, if you don't mind, Justin, because I think there's a lot of anxiety.
Yes.
Understandably so. So these are non-commissionable as 11.1, and I'm going to come back to this. Okay, I'm going to come back to this because there are some mitigating things in there as well. Here are in those areas some, and y'all may want to take a screenshot of these, particularly the codes. Some plants, some older plants that are still commissionable in those areas. The benefits aren't quite as strong, obviously, but there might be some people with for whom it is a good fit, particularly when it comes to network. We do have some providers such as Moffitt and some others that a lot of our competitors don't have. So please keep track of these. Coming back over here, since I know you're based in what we call Central Florida, Justin, that's the greater Orlando area plus Lake Sumter, Volusia, Brevard, and then my area of responsibility also goes up to Jacksonville and all the northeastern area, as well as the Panhandle. No plans were affected there. All plants are still commissionable. As you can see, these are South Florida and West Florida and Southwest Florida. And the plants that I'm showing here are those plants that we still have there that are commissionable.
Okay.
The reason, well, this, as you know, is a year unlike others. I can tell you right now, I am so glad I'm not an actuary. Because it's, actuaries work on history. And right now, there is no history as to what to expect. And you put in bids almost blind and by April without knowing everything. And yes, I'm the first one to say and apologize that this was very bad timing,
Hmm.
horrible time. Yeah. Now, coming back to these 5 plans, um, everything you have written up to 11:59 on October the 31st is commission.
Okay.
Everybody that you have on those plans, you will continue to get renewals.
Fantastic.
We're not going to cut you off from renewals. If you have to, have to move because maybe a plan is sunsetting, etc., whatever, but you have to move from one Aetna plan to one of these non-commissionable plans, you will still get your renewals.
Mm.
Okay, you will still get your renewals. We're not just chopping it off, chopping the head off, and the heck with everybody. Okay,
Hmm.
we have to slow down the enrollments in these plans. Unfortunately, again, my apologies. A horrible timing, but
Hmm.
we've tried to make it within the scope of it. Of it stinks.
Hmm.
We've tried to make it as fair as we possibly can. So if membership that you have in there will continue to get renewals. If you have to change from one Aetna plan because whatever reason to one of these plans, you will still, or perhaps somebody became dual eligible or lost their dual eligibility, for example,
Hmm.
um, you will still get your renewals. Okay. Any questions, Justin, from your end so
No,
far?
I think Sergio's that's a question he's getting a lot is what happens with the renewals. So thank you for addressing that.
Yeah.
And the process, if they do need to make a plan change, I believe they can still use our platform through Connecture, but also paper and any
Yes.
other enrollment,
Yes.
vehicle. So,
Yeah.
so that's
And
good to know.
yeah.
Hmm.
And my understanding, it just got, don't take what I'm about to say to the bank just yet, okay?
Hmm.
Because I just got the communication this morning, just before I hopped in. But these plans right here we had taken off Connecture and all the other platforms because we had plans that were more, with better benefits.
Hmm.
If I understand the communication I got correctly, these plans are being reinstated into
Okay, great.
platforms like Connect. Okay, so that you will have those options in there.
Okay.
Okay. Um, let's see. What are some other questions?
Josh and Justin, sorry to interrupt you guys.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I know Josh, you're Florida, but we need to talk to the state of Georgia too on this
Right.
because Aetna's big product up there.
Right.
Hmm.
Um, I can put you in touch with the director up there if you would like. I can send you that contact information. I really don't want to address other than the general things. Actually, for example, replacement plants, older plants. Oh, sorry, uh, I um, I don't dare address those because I don't know Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see from the sheet though, it doesn't look like Aetna has any non-commissionable plans in Georgia at this time. It's only the states that were impacted were the ones that I mentioned earlier, which is Maryland, New York, DC, Texas, California, Utah, Washington State, Virginia, Connecticut, Florida,
And
and
Utah. Yeah.
yeah, and Utah, yeah. So Georgia, you're in the clear for Aetna, but in Georgia, Anthem is completely non-commissionable, and Cigna, all of their PPOs are non-commissionable as of November 4th, which is today. So even Humana has non-commissionable products across several states as well. So, again, we're going to be putting this out. It's not just Aetna. Although, thank you, Josh, for standing in front of this firing squad this morning for everybody. But it's even including United Healthcare. They have several products, and just looking through the list here, I did see a DSNP product that's non-commissionable. So that's their number one product line is those DSNPs. So again, I'm going to be posting the full list of non-commissionable products as we learn about them in HQ as an update. So it's not just Aetna, and to be honest, Aetna's non-commissionable plans seem very small in scope compared to some of the other carriers that they're chopping off these commissions. So
Yeah, and
just wanted to
again,
add that.
yeah, my apologies for that. Timing is horrible. We always hate to see this. Nobody's happy. We're not happy here in the field. The people who made this decision, I tell you what, talk about standing in front of a firing squad when they had to get in front of the leadership, for leaders only meeting. They stood up in front of a firing squad there, and they were, they felt horrible. They still feel horrible about it. Nobody's happy. But as you know, it's not just about getting new members today. It's about making good business decisions that we can be sustainable for our beneficiaries for the foreseeable future. So I really appreciate you inviting me here, Justin.
No, of course.
I'm somebody who likes to just tackle things head on because it's the way I think should be tackled, whether they're fun or not.
Absolutely. So
I'm opening myself up for questions.
Yeah, well, why don't you do this? Because Aetna's still a player. What could you talk about your number one selling product for 2025 so far, and what's sizzling at Aetna for you, so we at least can see the good news in all of this, because it's not all the plans; it's just certain products in certain areas.
As a state, we're trending almost 200% to go.
Wow.
We did not see this coming. Okay, we really, on a year like this one, with V28 changes coming in and the changes that all health plans have had to change, for the last few months, we've all been sitting on pins and needles, and we were hoping we'd just be in the green. Man, if I'm trending to 100, 110, I'm going to be dancing on the tables, okay?
Yeah.
When the numbers started coming in, and I think that's part of the reason why business decision, okay? But it's in our territory here. As of Friday, the numbers for the weekend haven't come out yet. But as of Friday, Central, North, and Northwest Florida, the three submarkets for which I'm responsible, we were trending to almost 230% to go. So thank you to all of you for your support. Some of the products that have been trending really well are, of course, the DSNP, and I know there are other, like United Healthcare has a benefit card that is close to $100 more than ours, but a lot of providers are not happy with it either. So there are other things also there in play. Network is also in play. So that's doing very well for us. It's still a very competitive plan. The HMO, at least in my territory, is doing better than it's ever done in the last 4.5 years since I've been here in Aetna. I did not see that coming either. It's trending to 190% as of Friday. The PPO is doing very strong also. in my territory. Now, what the PPO, because as you can see, the PPO is being hard hit in West and Southwest Florida. So I don't know what West and Southwest Florida's trend is going to do after that, obviously. We'll see. Actually, the HMO, the go-to HMO in Miami-Dade and Hernando, Hillsborough, Pasco, and Pinellas, of course, that's become non-commissionable. And yes, we do have a product still there. These are HMO. The 019 is an HMO, and my apologies. I took this just from my own personal quick reference guide that I make myself every year. But the 019 is a select plan. It is an HMO plan. The 026 is also an HMO plan. The 270, 272, and 033, these are the first three are PPO plans. So we still have options there.
Good.
Right.
So in our, what I'm seeing here, the 434, which is a PPO in Central Florida, which was not impacted by the non-commissionable, is our number one product here. So the PPO is very, very viable. There's a couple other ones, the 437 and the 569. I think that one's in South Florida. So there's still products available for folks to have that. So let me mute that person. Hold on one second. There was another question, is HRA, you guys do pay for the HRA, but they have to go through, I think it's a bounce out to Think Agent. Is that right?
I think we're trying, last I heard, they were trying to tie it again to some of the other partners, such as Connection.
Okay, good. So that's coming down the pipe.
That's what I've been told.
Okay, great. So there's another question here on your sheet there. It says DTC.
So DTC, that means it has been available only for direct to consumer. That's what it stands for. Those are for people who go online and either through CMS enroll themselves or directly through Aetna. And so we had taken it off from Connecture and Think Agent, some of the other platforms, because we have newer products available and some other products available. Well, we're adding them back in now, so making them more available. So they're not going to be just DTC anymore. Okay, direct to consumer. They're going to be also, if you need some sales kits like right now and you don't have them, please reach out to, I know the two here in Florida, the two main broker managers that y'all deal with are Angel Suarez and Norma Asensio. And you have, I think, the contacts for both of them. Please reach out to them. They'll email you a PDF of the sales kits, and each sales kit has a paper application at the end as well.
Awesome.
So that hopefully, you don't have to wait to enroll somebody, even if, let's say, 272 hasn't been loaded yet. Then you can still enroll them using a paper app.
Very good. So yeah, we'll continue to update you folks on our enrollment platform, HPM Shop. I know Jonathan's working in the background on all of these non-commissionable plans and then loading the new commissionable ones that Josh had mentioned here too. He's working very closely with the team at Connector. Victor,
by the way, one more thing. I'm going to go ahead and send to you and Nick and Sergio. I'm going to be sending the PDF format so that if they reach out to you instead, you can have it, or you can disseminate them as you wish.
Awesome. Victor's adding here that the Aetna HMO Select Plan still offers some chronic condition benefits, such as the spendable account for OTC, the food, etc., without the
Correct.
member having, yeah, without the member having to fill out a chronic verification form. So that's super helpful
Yeah.
that your members are still going to be able to get that on those HMOs. So, don't turn your eye to Aetna just because a few plans are non-commissionable. That's why we asked Josh to join us today, because Aetna is still a very viable plan. It's a popular plan, not just in Florida but across the country. And like he said, they're growing 200% year over year. So they're not going anywhere. It's kind of the idea here.
Hey, we've been around for 171 years.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I think you'll be around a few more, right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope this is the last company I work with.
There you go. Well, Josh, thank you very much for your time, and thanks for taking a bullet, not just for Aetna, but looks like all the other carriers that have some questions to answer on how they're doing it. But in all fairness, I think that we understand where you guys are coming from, and we're glad that you guys are being good to the brokers as far as not terminating their renewals and making sure that anything written prior will still get paid on as far as 1031 goes, because we do have a few folks that wrote those products
Yep.
prior to 1031. So you guys will get paid as long as you wrote it before November 1st. Just moving forward, we wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of that. And again, we'll be posting an article on HQ with the full impact of these non-commissionable plans as this breaking news continues. So, Josh, thank you very much for your time today. We really appreciate you.
And thank you for inviting us, Justin.
Absolutely.
And Nick.
Absolutely.
Take care.
You got it. You got it. All right, guys, that's it for today. Again, next Monday is Veterans Day, so we will be closed on Veterans Day, so no need to jump on this call. We will not be here. And then coming soon, we'll have new coordinates for the Monday morning conference call, so stay tuned to that. So with that, I wish everyone a fantastic and productive and successful AEP week. We are closing in on Thanksgiving, and we've got almost a month left of AEP, so make the most of it. Have a fantastic day, guys.